Hello, Steve Artsy 9. Well, everyone's talking about Superman, and I've done a lot of videos talking about Superman, but it's funny, you don't realise how much you care about something until it's in danger or threatened or you lose it. I grew up loving Superman. The films were on TV when I was a kid, the comics were around. I had the Superpowers toys and the Toy Biz ones as well. And I started collecting the figures now as an adult from McFarlane and that. But it's kind of strange because you know these are fictional characters, they don't exist, but you grow up with them, they're omnipresent, and you feel like they're real people. You feel like you care about these characters, you believe in them, they mean something, they have meaning in your life. And something that I sort of realised when thinking about why am I getting this emotional about Superman, because, like, for example, when I was watching the couple of, well, really just the Whoopi Goldberg interview with David Cornswet, I was crying. And I realised how much I love this character and how much he means to me and how much Christopher Reeve meant to me. And you realise that if you're sort of growing up in that period, and if particularly didn't have a good male role model, which I didn't, my dad was alcoholic and gambled, but he was just very distant. He did those things so he could separate himself from family life. I guess he couldn't handle having 8 kids. So he was there, but he was never really there. And I learnt some things from him, but he didn't go out of his way to teach me anything. So it's kind of weird. I don't want to trash him, but I learnt more from Superman growing up, and Batman, and superheroes, and Captain Kirk than I did my father. And I have older brothers. One was absent because I'm like, there's like 20 years difference between, like, I'm the youngest of 8, and it's like 20 years difference between like the kids. And my oldest brother was out of the house by the time I was around, so I didn't really know him. And my older brother, because I had another brother who died, my older brother, I didn't learn much from him positive. So my main male role models were superheroes and fictional characters, and they taught me morals and right or wrong, what not to do. And a lot of people criticize Superman and mock him, the big blue Boy Scout and all that stuff, but those things are important. And I know that's why my mum encouraged me to like and watch some of these shows like He-Man, and characters like Superman, because she knew I was learning from them. They were good examples. They had pro-social values and all those things built into them, and the people that were making them, like you all know Lou Scheimer and all that, they really cared about these characters and what these characters were saying, what people were getting from these characters. So it's very easy to be threatened when this character that you love is being handled by someone who makes jokes about doing things to children and so forth. So, and James Gunn, I'd love to go into what got him fired from Disney a few years ago, but you can't literally quote what he says in those things, like, you just can't. So I was really worried, and what I was hearing and seeing was just bad. Superman just seems to be the butt of the joke. He just seems to be beat up and weak and vulnerable, and he never seems to win. He just seems to survive. And there's an element of that that's true to the film, where he really does just survive. He doesn't really get to thrive and be this big, proud superhero we can all admire. He just seems to just be managing to get out of it all and survive. But he does survive with his morals and his optimism, his beliefs and hope intact, which is important. The character is maintained, but he's compromised and challenged and demeaned and degraded all through the film, from what I hear. I still haven't seen it. But that was very clear from the beginning. What wasn't clear was that he still managed to maintain his spirit, his beliefs and everything, and that it does show that stuff matters. It is shown to matter, but only really to Superman and to us as an example. So that is an element of the film which is there, which is important. I'm glad, but it was not apparent, and it's very easy to see all the negative in James Gunn's portrayal of Superman and this film. And also, just, it feels a bit insulting to know that this character you love, who should have his own film, is just being used to launch a new universe, and all these characters are coming in and taking away from his time and attention, and all these characters just there's too much, and you don't get any real depth to any of the characters. They're all very shallow, very surface, just there to let you know they're going to do a film about this character later. So there are things like that the film is sort of compromised and the character is compromised to a degree, but still at the end maintains who he really is. And I feel a little bit better, but I still felt really offended and threatened by James Gunn's handling of Superman. And it's very difficult when you love all these franchises and these characters to see them be mishandled by people and realise you can't do anything about it as a fan, as an audience member, and you just have to remember what they were like, and sort of sometimes you just have to just watch the old stuff and forget about the new stuff. But I just want to comment on that because some people are being very critical of why do you care, what's wrong with you, you're just a hater, you're just a snarder or whatever. It's like, no, I love this character and I'm worried about him, and I care about him, and I don't want to see him ruined because I want other kids who don't have a good father role model to still have Superman to look up to. And that's going to be very difficult if all the current contemporary examples have been ruined and are not who the character was. So that's also important. I care about that, and maybe judge me about that if you want, but I think that's important, and that needs to be taken seriously. And some people don't, because this is just a commercial venture for them. They don't care, and that can be very frustrating as well. But I've been talking for more than 6 minutes, but I just wanted to say that because I was thinking about it. I'm like, why do I care this much? Why am I this emotional? And I sort of wanted to explain that, but not because I feel like I need to explain myself to anyone. I mean, who cares? But it just helps sometimes to bit of YouTube therapy. You just say it out loud. It helps you really clarify things like this. So thank you for participating in my YouTube therapy session today about Superman and why I love him. And I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the film, of Superman, of fans' reactions and attachments to Superman, and maybe go to my channel, ding the bell, like, subscribe, comment, all those good things. That'll help.